Hey, what's this? Fugu!
It is bluefish, sir.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for foods that, under the right circumstances, will leave you dead instead of satisfied.
It tastes kind of like rhubarb, but a little more bitter. And don't worry, you have to eat about 11 pounds of leaves to have a fatal dose, so I think I'll be okay. We'll see.
Number 10. Elderberries.
Are you worried about some of the things you may have read or heard about cyanide in elderberries?
Elderberries might be a superfood when properly prepared, but raw or unripe, they're a natural poison cocktail. These deep purple berries contain cyanogenic glycosides compounds that release cyanide when metabolized. Ingesting uncooked elderberries, or even their leaves and stems, will likely lead to a rough night. Nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea are likely symptoms. In extreme cases, the berries could even put you in a coma.
These berries, you guys, have been used for years. There's no question about that. But they have to be properly prepared before you consume them. Every part of this plant, you guys, is poison.
In 1983, a group at a health retreat in California learned this the hard way. Improperly prepared elderberry juice hospitalized 8 people with symptoms of poisoning. Cooking neutralizes the toxins, making elderberries safe for syrups and jams. But skip the DIY raw smoothie, unless...
Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelt of elderberries!
Number 9. San-nakji.
It has a big, bulbous head, beady black eyes, and 8 squirming tentacles. It's the octopus.
This Korean delicacy is not for the faint of heart. This dish consists of live octopus, chopped into bite-sized pieces and served immediately. When your plate arrives at your table, the tentacles are still writhing.
Sometimes it's not just difficult, it's deadly.
The danger in this case isn't chemical, but physical. Those suction cups remain active. If san-nakji isn't chewed thoroughly, the cups can latch onto the throat and choke you. Every few years, several diners in South Korea suffocate after their daring attempt at san-nakji. The key to survival is to chew, and chew again. While it's a favorite among thrill-seeking foodies, san-nakji is a meal that fights back.
Octopus!
Number 8. Blood clams.
There's one clam that stands out, not just for its unique appearance, but for the risks it carries.
On the outside, blood clams might look like any other unassuming mollusk. When opened, though, they reveal their blood-red color, courtesy of being one of the few mollusks with hemoglobin. These clams have a well-earned and deadly reputation that has nothing to do with their looks. Unlike most shellfish, blood clams thrive in oxygen-poor waters. As a result, they must filter massive amounts of bacteria-laden water.
Even today, some countries regulate or completely ban the harvesting and sale of blood clams to prevent public health risks.
This filtration means that they often harbor deadly diseases like hepatitis A and typhoid. In 1988, an outbreak in Shanghai linked to blood clams sickened nearly 300,000 people. Some countries have outright banned them, while others enforce strict regulations. Despite the risks, many still crave their briny, iron-rich taste.
I'm a man of stout constitution. Yes, of course. I just thought after the last time it was the... And the... merely a bout of stomach influenza. Yes, but the time before that... bad clams.
Number 7. Pongum edole. Commonly known as kepayung, Pongum edole is a tree native to Southeast Asia. The seeds in its fruit are a sought-after delicacy. They're also deathly poisonous, full of hydrogen cyanide. Traditional preparation methods involve boiling the seeds and then burying them in ash and banana leaves for about a month to detoxify them. This process makes them safe to eat and imparts a unique flavor. In Indonesian cuisine, these processed seeds, called kluwak, are incredibly popular. Rawon is an Indonesian beef stew with a distinctive black broth thanks to the help of kluwak.
These are the cured ones, which has been cured for 1 month underground. Burn it first to develop a bit of a smoky taste.
While pongum is cherished in various culinary traditions, it's crucial to ensure proper preparation. Eating it raw could be a death sentence.
I spit it out because I trust Wikipedia when they tell me something is toxic.
Number 6. Fasik.
But for many, the risk is worth the reward.
This ancient Egyptian holiday fish dish is not for the faint-hearted. The traditional meal features gray mullet fish that's been sun-dried and pickled in salt. The fermentation process is one that's easy to mess up.
But despite its smell, the fermented fish has become a staple of Egyptian culture and Ibrahim Shahim is proud to carry on making this traditional dish safe for all to enjoy.
The preparation is a precise art passed down through generations. One misstep could lead to your last meal. Every spring, during the ancient festival of Sham el-Nessim, Egyptians indulge in fasik. And every spring, the Egyptian Health Ministry warns its citizens about the high risk of botulism. So, if you're daring enough to try fasik, ensure it's from a trusted source. Number 5. Casu Marzu. Sardinia, the tiny island off Italy, is famous for its friendly people and beautiful beaches. It's also the home of Casu Marzu, or maggot cheese.
Si dice che è molto pericoloso, ma non lo è affatto.
This traditional sheep's milk cheese is infested with live larvae of the Pyophila casei fly. The maggots break down fats, creating a soft, oozing texture. But here's the kicker. Those little wriggling guests aren't just for show. You're expected to eat them. If they die, the cheese is considered unsafe.
È una mosca che trasporta le larve, le inietta e da lì ne vengono fuori i vermi, che poi pian pianino vanno sempre in aumento, si riproducono.
If they do survive, they might make their next home inside of your guts. The EU banned the cheese, but locals still enjoy it in secret. So, if you're brave enough to take a bite, just know you might not be the only one doing the chewing.
How are those maggots? Maggots, Michael. You're eating maggots. How do they taste?
Number 4. Hákarl. Icelandic cuisine isn't for the faint of heart, and Hákarl, or fermented shark, is its ultimate test. This dish starts with Greenland shark, which, if eaten fresh, is poisonous due to high levels of trimethylamine oxide and urea.
The Greenland shark is the most toxic shark in the world. Fresh. Meat, you would get very sick. Then a little bit more, you could probably go blind. And then death after that.
To render the meat safe, it has to be buried in sand and left to rot for months before being hung to dry. The result is a pungent, ammonia-soaked, apparent delicacy that smells like a janitor's closet gone rogue. Even Anthony Bourdain called it the single worst thing he'd ever eaten.
I don't like the shark. It's like ammonia.
Despite its gut-wrenching reputation, Hákarl remains a proud Icelandic tradition. But if you're brave enough to try it, just be sure to keep a shot of Brennivin handy.
That tastes like cleaning product.
Number 3. Ackee Fruit.
It's called an ackee, and it happens to be one of the deadliest fruits in the world.
Jamaica's national fruit is a staple in dishes like ackee and saltfish. However, consuming it improperly can lead to Jamaican vomiting sickness. The unripe fruit contains hypoglycin A, a toxin that inhibits gluconeogenesis. What does that mean? Raw ackee can cause severe hypoglycemia. Symptoms include vomiting, altered mental states, and in some extreme cases, seizures, coma, or death.
What if I told you that the fruit many Jamaicans eat for breakfast every day also happens to be one of the most poisonous fruits in the world?
To safely consume ackee, it's crucial to ensure the fruit is fully ripened. You can tell it's ready when its pod naturally opens on its own. You must make sure to discard anything that isn't ripe, as well as the seeds, or run the risk of a trip to the hospital. Despite its potential dangers, when prepared correctly, ackee remains a beloved component of Jamaican cuisine.
That is, the key word is fresh. If I lived here and I would be able to have an ackee tree, I would be eating this every day, at least. This is probably like one of the most delicious things that I've had.
Number 2. Cassava.
This plant has put a lot of people in hospital beds and even in graves.
A dietary staple for millions, cassava is a double-edged sword. This starchy root contains cyanogenic glycosides, which can release hydrogen cyanide when consumed raw or improperly prepared.
The faint smell of bitter almonds, telltale traces of cyanide.
Symptoms of cyanide poisoning include nausea, vomiting, dizziness, and potentially death. Improperly prepared cassava is also responsible for the paralytic disease, konzo, which sometimes sees outbreaks in rural areas of Africa. To safely enjoy cassava, it's essential to peel, soak, and cook it thoroughly, which removes the cyanide. Despite its potential dangers, when prepared correctly, cassava is a vital food source in many parts of the world.
Fill them with a stuffing, the good meat and something local. Cassava?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Fugu.
Fugu?
The infamous pufferfish.
Japan's notorious pufferfish is the ultimate gamble. You may have one of the best meals of your life, or you may die. The fish contains tetrodotoxin, a potent neurotoxin that can paralyze and kill. Proper preparation is crucial. The toxin is heat stable and not destroyed by cooking. Only meticulous cleaning of the fish can render it safe.
Concentrate. Concentrate.
I want
Fugu!
Fan Fugu-tastic.
That means that only licensed chefs with extensive training are permitted to serve it. Nonetheless, fugu consumption still leads to several poisonings a year, although these are often associated with amateur preparation at home. Some even result in fatalities. After scarfing down a plate of fugu, you may experience numbness, dizziness, and difficulty breathing. If so, you need a hospital immediately before you asphyxiate.
I can totally see why someone would risk their life to eat this.
Those of you who take certain medications know that grapefruit could easily star on this list. Are there any other deadly foods we should have added? Let us know in the comments below.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.